Hey guys, welcome back to the shop. Welcome back to Work Guitars. Glad you came back. I'd like to say that we're doing great on the subscribers. We're up to 403, man. I'm very blessed with that. Thank you very much. And last 100 goal that we made was 300, obviously. Duh. But we gave Ira a t-shirt. So Chris Serino, you're 400, buddy. If you want a t-shirt, Chris Serino, I think I'm pronouncing that correctly. C-I-R-I-N-O. Does that sound right, Steve?
Sounds right to me.
Steve's here. Say hey, Steve.
Hey, Steve.
So today, Steve is, let's see what's Steve doing today. What are you doing today, Steve?
I am sanding the baby blue. The cobalt, no, what was it?
Sonic Blue.
Sonic blue guitar.
Right on. Good job, Steve. All right, let's see, where was I? I was right about there, I think. Okay. Right, so Chris Serino, throw me a comment and give me your email address or something, and we'll get together and I'll send you a shirt, man. And thank you so much for subscribing. Tell your friends. Hit the like button, all right? Anyway, today it's time to grain fill the back of the Evan Gardner T-style build. This piece of mahogany. Very porous wood, and if you don't grain fill it, it looks kind of, you know, grainy, for any other word. Porous. So, to get a nice, really smooth finish, what I call a flat finish, meaning that you don't see little grainy divots in it, we got to grain fill it. So, my idea was, a few days back, I knew I was going to put Tru-Oil on there, and I was, you know, getting ready to mix up some grain filler with some water. That's what this is, Goodfilla. This is a great grain filler, by the way. Filla in a bag, Goodfilla. I get this particular item here, I believe I got this from Woodcrafters. Woodcrafter Supply. I'm sure you can get it lots of different places. And Stu Mac also makes something very similar. Probably exactly the same thing, but they put their name on it. At any rate, this stuff will mix into water and turn into a paste, and you can make it as thick as you want to, and it makes a great grain filler. And what I normally do if I'm spraying lacquer on a guitar, I seal it first, and then I put the grain filler on top of the sealer. It sands off very easily. But I thought to myself, why don't I put some grain filler in some oil, because I'm going to oil it anyway, and let that oil dry, and let the oil be the vehicle that the grain filler rides across the guitar in, for lack of any other way of describing it. So that's what we're going to do. I tried a piece just out of curiosity, and it worked really well, and it dried really well, and you can see the difference once this sands out. Is really super flat, and the grain is filled really well on it. It's difficult to get a good look at it. But this will sand almost all the way off. It'll leave a little bit, the color variation, a lot of that is the Tru-Oil, because Tru-Oil is an amber color anyway. So that's going to darken up anything you put it on slightly. And then the grain filler does add a little bit of color, but most of that will sand right back once we sand it flat again. All right, so that's the plan. This stuff works really well. Let's get going on that. Just using a little bit because you don't need much. That little cup about half full is probably enough. So I'm just going to take my trusty little 6-inch ruler. You guys got one of these in your shop? 6-inch ruler? You need to get one if you don't. This is an amazing little tool. It's great for filling. It's got decimal equivalents on the back of it. It has, you know, obviously the ruler on one side, made by a company called General. Highly recommended. And it works great for doing this kind of stuff. So we're just going to put a little of this Tru-Oil. This is made by a company called Birchwood. This is good stuff. Gunstock oil, basically, is what it was created for. And you can see that it has that amber color in it. So that's going to add that little bit of color to anything. It looks really good on maple because it adds that amber tint. We're just going to add some of this Goodfilla to it. until we get a nice thick consistency. Spread it out on there and use the old razor blade trick. And we'll get her done. Got to put a pretty good amount of this stuff in there to get a good consistency. Because it's super fine, super thin. But it mixes in really well with this stuff. And just comes into a nice smooth paste. That's what we want. A little bit more. Probably that much more. I'm just doing a little scoop using the ruler. That's what I want. Probably the consistency of mayonnaise. Something like that, you know what I mean? And that's a good amount of filler in there. And it looks like this. And you see that? There you go. So it doesn't, well, yes, it actually does pour out. It's not like, where's the place where you go to get ice cream and they turn it upside down? Dairy Queen. It's not quite that thick. All right. So, we get my razor blade and stuff and I'll be right back. All right. Got our filler mixed up. Just gonna pour a little on there and spread it out with the little Bondo spreader. We'll get a razor blade ready to go so we can scrape the excess off. Take a little of the edge off. Round over the corners. That. There we go. Pour a little bit of this on here. Spread it out. Might be a little dry. I think I need a little bit more oil in it. Let me get the majority of that off. I'll add a little more oil to it. Just take the razor blade and drag it right across there like that. Hold the blade straight up. And it just cuts that excess right off of there. I'll get you closer so you can see. I'm just dragging the excess right back off. Last you got to sand. Sanding is not your friend. Just like that. A little harder in the curved parts. We're just gonna smooth that out with our finger there. Right inside there like that. Rub that in. And you can see immediately where it's really laying down in the grain pores really well. Work that down in there like that. You see the difference? Yeah, it's good. It's working good. All right, let's get some more. I'm gonna add a little more oil to it. A little bit dry. Yeah, I think that's better. About that consistency. The great thing about having the oil in it is it doesn't dry so fast. And so you can really work it down into the grain. I have way more than I need on here. Get rid of some of that. Work around the curves with your fingers. Smooth it on down in there. That. Just like that. And come back where you blade when you can. Scrape it off. See how that scrapes right back off there, the excess does? That's nice. It's a little messy. Get cleaned up here a little bit. It's easy to get really messy. Don't want to be too sloppy about it. Getting it off of there. There you go. So you don't want to leave much on. You don't want to have to sand more than you need to. Right, Steve?
Yes.
Steve is very familiar with the sanding process. See where it builds up on the curves like that. Just come back and wipe off that excess just like that. And after this sits for a few minutes, I'm gonna come back with a towel and wipe that off. And man, the filler really gets down in the grain really well because it's thicker and it's kind of oily, you know, at the start when you first get it started. And it really lays down in there really well. Like that. What do you think, Steve?
It looks like glass.
Hmm?
From this angle, it looks glassy. You know what I mean? It looks like it's doing a great job.
I'm really happy with that. The way this is working.
Yeah, man.
Now all I gotta do is all the hard parts. That's the easy part. Doing all this around here is a little tougher. But we'll get it done. Let me move the camera back over there.
Yeah, you can tell a big difference.
Yeah.
Just, it already looks like it's sealed.
Come back with some 400 grit and just knock the excess powder that's left when it dries back off of there. And then just keep hitting it with the oil. When you get to these parts here, I just put some on my finger and rub it in like that. That seems to be the most efficient way to get it on there. The old finger method.
That's right. That's what God gave us fingers for.
That's right. So my glove is a little short. There we go. Story of my life. Getting it on there like that. Rub that in. If you like to play in the mud. See, I've got the neck. I thought I had the neck taped off, but look, I'm putting my hands all over it. You hold that there for a second?
Yep.
I'm getting sloppy. Get a couple of new gloves. I'm sure that'll probably sand right back, no problem.
I know a guy.
know a guy that can sand that off in there. Oh yeah, that's not gonna be an issue. I'm gonna go ahead and sand it now though before it gets any worse. Before it has a chance to sink in. Yeah, there we go. The whole goal of taping this right here was to not get, obviously, from time to time, you know, my brain just kind of turns off and I go into just getting it done mode. So I'm going to only put one glove on, that way I know not to put my hand in it. If you got on two gloves, you get confident. Right there for me. Work that around there. That. Rub it in. All right, I got it, Steve. Well, do it like this. We do it like this. Here we go. All right, I got it, buddy. A little bit right there. All right, I got it. Thank you. Thank you for your help, Brother Steve.
No problem.
Brother Steven in the house.
Esteban.
Brother Esteban.
Esteban Weaveres.
Esteban Weaver. Brother Esteban Weaver. All right. Coming around the finish line here, and we'll rub the rest of that off with a paper towel. And we'll let this sit up. Get good and dry. Come back and hit it with some 400 grit. I'll show you what it looks like. All right. Okay. I'll be right back, guys. So the really cool thing about this, doing it like this is, you know, I put that stuff around there with my finger, you know, smooth it all around. And it was kind of messy and funky. Just took a paper towel, good paper towel. I recommend Bounty. It's a quicker picker-upper. A good quality paper towel. And man, you can just rub it right back off and it almost buffs into a finish all by itself. Because it is.
That's amazing.
See that? That's nice. The color is, you know, a little heavier in some places. So it's going to have to be sanded to even that out. But this is the last time I will put the filler in it. From here on out, it's just going to be coats of Tru-Oil, 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 until it has a really nice buffed out satin finish on it. And I'll tell you what, it's almost there already. Because of the filler in it, the wood doesn't look so dry. Just like that.
That's something else, bro.
There you go, guys. That's my grain filler with Tru-Oil. Good old birchwood Tru-Oil, gunstock oil. Goodfilla. Good stuff. All right, I'll let you see what this looks like after it's got a few more coats on it. But that's it for today, guys. We'll see you next time. Thanks for watching. Thanks for subscribing. You guys rock. Chris, if you want a t-shirt, you know, give me some info, all right? We'll see you guys out there somewhere. Peace. I think I was supposed to do peace. That's not peace. But there, guys. Hey, guys. Before I get away, go take care of some other stuff. I thought I would show you that test piece that I had. And I did the Tru-Oil and filler mixed together. And I did a test piece and I let it sit for a couple days. I sanded it. And I just sprayed sealer over it. And that grain is filled pretty well. There's still a few little open pores, but not very many. And There's a few open pores, but I kind of just halfway did this, you know. Just to see if it would work. I wasn't really being all that crazy and getting intent about it, because I didn't even know how it would react. But I'm really happy with the way this turned out. I'm going to try it on this guitar. This already has a coat of sealer on it, so it won't discolor anything anymore. It'll only fill in the grain. I'm going to sand this sealer smooth. I'm going to try this paste filler on here, and I'll let you know how it turns out. But I just want to let you know that you can spray clear coats over top of this after it's dried really well. All right, that's all I got for real this time. I got other stuff I got to do. We'll see you guys out there somewhere. Bye now.